to have a friendship where there is less criticism and more growth. That is what I always was praying for. I mean, I had good friends. They helped me to grow, but there was a type of growth I was looking for.
I found it very difficult explaining to myself over and over. Now, until I met a certain sect of friends who they didn't push me to have to explain to them why I am quiet or why I needed 2 days off from communication or why
I needed 2 days off from communication.
And it's so true. And they wouldn't take it personally when I do certain things differently. You know,
friendships change through the seasons. Different people come into our lives at different seasons. Some stay and some don't get to stay. I mean, it's okay.
So my practice throughout building these relationships and friendship is to give my all, if you allow me to. Because
a friend of mine told me one time, don't be a thief in people's lives.
Why?
You can't be out there looking for quality friends and then you're not a quality friend.
Oof.
You want quality people around you, but you're not a quality person.
Yeah.
Hey friends, you're welcome back to another week on the She Strong podcast. I am your host. My name is Courage, and if it is your first time hopping on here, I really want to welcome you. We've been praying for you. We've been looking forward to having you here. So I'd really encourage you to consider hitting that subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Spotify, there's a follow button waiting for you right there. Join the community. Everything you need to know about it is in the show notes. And today I have some very special guests with me. I've been looking forward to doing this episode. Really excited about having them with me in the studio. Martha and Samantha, you are welcome.
Courage.
I don't know why I just sang it like that, but you're welcome.
You just sang.
Most of you are familiar with Martha, but we have a beautiful new face here today, Samantha. Samantha, I would just really love us into the real podcast fashion. We're just gonna get right into stuff. Let us know, tell us a little bit about you so we can get to know you a little bit more, and then Martha is also gonna tell us a little bit about her.
Perfect.
So just let me know where you're from, how long have you been in Dubai, and that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Courage, for having me.
You're welcome.
So I'll start with my name. I'm Samantha Were, and where I'm from Kenya, and I have been in Dubai. This is my 8.5, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, close to 9, so close to 9 years. And I am a daughter. I am an aunt.
I love that.
I am a sister. I am also, especially I'm a daughter of God. That should have come first. And then I am also an employer. I have business here and there. So yeah, I'm a whole package of everything.
I love that so much.
Yeah, so also I have very many interests, but outdoor kind of interest and majorly indoor also. So I'm just a bubble wrapped up in so many other things. Yeah, basically that's who I am.
Wow. You're welcome to the podcast.
Thank
and I
you.
love your earrings. I was there when this earring was bought.
Oh, they were bought, and I said, let me just save them for this occasion.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Martha,
you so
please just
much.
tell us a little bit about you, like how long you've been in Dubai.
My name is Martha. And I have been in Dubai. This is my 8th year now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost the same.
Yeah, almost the same
I'm
actually.
9, yeah.
I think I'm approaching 8 years.
I think you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and what else? I am a sister. Just like Samantha, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter.
Oh, guys, this is one question Martha is like, Bisi, are you going to ask that question again? I always do for some reason.
Okay, I will say a little bit about me, my interests. I love, what do I love? Outdoor stuff. I love to read. I love to go to the gym.
Yay.
I love to go out and eat. I mean, I really love food. And I love hanging out with friends, just normal banter.
Yeah.
I love being silly and making jokes. Yeah, basically. And yeah.
So I know that most of you are currently wondering why there are 3 people. Usually there are 2.
Right.
So we're going to be talking today about navigating friendships in our adulthood, and we're going to really maybe look at the other side of being an expat and finding new friends, or trying to maintain the relationships that we already had, and also the ups and downs that comes with the flow of adult friendships. So, but I wanted us to just start off today with me just getting to know the both of you a little bit better and your friendship. And one question I wanted to ask is, what have you learned from each other so far in your friendship? And first of all, tell us how long you guys have known each other.
Oh, wow. Should I go first? Yes?
Whoever.
So I've known her, I might be wrong, but I've known her since 2017, 2019? 18, yeah.
Yes.
And church environment, of course, brought us together. But, I'm always such a closed-in kind of person. So I think for me, if it was not her pushing towards, pursuing our friendship, I would not have really, we would not have been where we are. So things that I really admire about her is her courage, and also she has discipline, which I also have discipline in different areas in life. So there is discipline. I love her courage, discipline. I love how she also is around her friends and her network of friends and colleagues also. Yeah. And I love also how she's very firm. There are a few elements on my side that I know I'm not good at that I see in her. So I think beautiful. The balance really is attractive and also really helped me even navigate our friendship, because I would say if we say I'm a half a chocolate pie, then she's because whatever that I can't do better or I can't do well, she actually does it in a different way. So this has complemented me in different areas in my life.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
I love that so much, Martha.
Yeah. Sam has taught me how to be vulnerable. Yeah, she said I'm so firm. She has taught me to give grace. Sam has taught me how to feel my feelings. I mean, in the beginning, when we became friends, at some point I felt like, oh my God, Samantha, these are too many feelings. She was always open, telling me about how she feels and what is going on in her heart. I mean, the vulnerability and everything. And it taught me how to do that with myself, because I would always shove my feelings to the side and, we are busy. We have things to do. But Sam taught me how to sit and feel my feelings.
Right. I love that.
If I'm not happy, it's okay to sit down and be sad and to talk about it. I think that has really helped me to become, it has loosened me up a bit. I was a bit uptight.
I love what the both of you said, and if I'm looking at it properly, it feels like you guys balance up each other. Like, you're filling up for your blank spaces everywhere. And I think one thing that came to my mind as you were talking was us not looking for friends that look exactly like us or are just exactly like us, because then we miss out on so much more that exists in life, or so much more that we could be learning. So I really love this whole pair right here. And I wanted us to just start off again with talking about friendships, especially as an expat, because it looks kind of different than when it was when we were like in our home countries or around people that looked like us and just in the same place. So being an expat, I found that it's been at the same time difficult, but also a blessing in disguise, because you get to be open to meeting new people, and but at the same time you still get this, you feel this isolation, and you also feel like I'm in a brand new place. People don't look like me, they don't talk like me, and all these things. So I wanted to just talk about how to start making friends as an expat. First of all, someone just popped into a new country. What would you tell them if they want to start getting around people that would inspire them, or they would learn one or two things from?
It's a lovely question. I think when I came here, my first day, I remember one of the things that I not noticed is, wow, my hair is different.
Yes.
Oh my God. I
You never
had
know how
no
different you are till you leave your home country.
And I didn't even know, I had no idea that even I had like my color is different. But those small details that are very, neutral at home, here they're very foreign. So in the beginning, I tried to get friendships from different races, which worked. But then there's a lot of cultural differences, yeah? And you have to respect that. It's not a bad thing. Of course, I have friends from different races, but that's one challenge that you have to, how they react to certain things, how they eat, how they dress, how they communicate, even how they maintain friendships. This is all different.
It's very different.
So you might feel heartbroken when, you try to mingle with a certain sect and then the way they respond to it is different. Of course, where I come from, friendship is very deep. This has been modeled by my parents, my community. Friendship is so deep and we don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
So one of the challenges I had was also, finding my tribe, finding people who will understand my jokes, who will also understand that I can also be very aloof sometimes. And in the beginning, I have been, I didn't even think I would thrive in the friendship area because I was really struggling to find somebody who understands my personality because I can be very bubbly, but also I take a lot of time to recharge. So I closed in and some people would take it personally. So I've had people really calling me to meetings and coffee dates and like, do you know what you did?
Thing?
Yes, it was wrong. You should never not, why are you not picking my calls or why do you reply late? And I had to, I found it very difficult explaining to myself over and over. Now, until I met a certain sect of friends who they didn't push me to have to explain to them why I am quiet or why I needed 2 days off from communication or why
She just said I needed 2 days off from communication.
And it's so true. And they wouldn't take it personally when I do certain things differently, And over time, I have progressed to embrace other people. I have learned that I can't be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And I also respect those people who invite me into their space and take me up as their friend or even a close friend. And it takes quite a lot. Wow. So it's been a journey and it's still a journey to be an expert here and trying to balance that friendship.
Yeah. So it is something actually.
It is. It's not easy and it's a deep commitment. You have to really be rooted to forming this friendship ties. Yeah.
And Martha, you have anything to add? I was like, I felt her taking a deep breath. Yes, I have something to say.
I was listening to those elements that Sam was mentioning. There are things with our personalities, and it becomes such a challenge when you're in a new place. But I used to read stories of people who moved to new countries. And I would read the stories of how they found community or how they made friends. I would say, just getting down to the basics, like joining a church for the people who go to church. Or knowing your interests. Also, it's important to just know yourself. What interests do you have? Some people love to go to the gym. Some people love yoga. And in a country like this, there's so many communities like those.
So many activities too.
So you can go to activities and meet people who have the same interest as yours. And from there you can just build friendships. It's also important to manage your expectations, knowing that you're meeting people from different places. They may not understand your like what Sam was saying. They may not understand your culture or where you're from. So it's important to keep an open mind. I would say the friendships I've built when I came to this country, all of them started from church. For me, that was the first place I went to. That was the first kind of community. You grow up in a Christian home. When you move to a new country, your parents told you,
go to church.
That's
the first thing.
Don't leave the Lord. As if you can leave God. But don't leave the Lord. Now I'm translating it in Swahili, usiwache Mungu. But so the first thing I looked for was a church. For someone else, they would look for a yoga community or something. They would join an interest. If It's about just finding things that interest you, and from there you can meet people.
Yeah, and putting
as
yourself
basic
out
as
there.
that.
I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, put yourself out there.
Yeah, and putting yourself out there can also be a challenge. In a country like this, everyone comes here with the goal to work and make money.
Yeah.
So you don't have time for leisure. And we cannot, I mean, sometimes you make friends at work.
But
Some, I can say, like, out of the 5 friends you made at work, maybe only one survives.
Yeah.
To be a friend of yours when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also, work can also be another place to make friends.
But you're talking about making work friends. That's also another thing. Because I feel like here, especially in Dubai, like everyone is on the move. Everyone comes with a goal. Everyone just wants to make money. So some of the time, like most of the times, some of the friends that you make at work don't really last because all of you are either chasing a goal there. Right. You're just like, I'm gonna get my money and I'm out. Yeah. And then, like you said, some 1 or 2 of them make it out of it. I don't know about everyone else because sometimes when I say this, everyone's like, but usually, or not usually, I find that for me, I've had really good friendships at work, and it even went outside. Good. But this is my own. It's my own personal story. Yeah. It's my own personal experience because there was this one season in my life where I thought the people that are the people would come through for me. And none of that happened. And then I picked up the phone and I called this girl that we chat and we everything at work. And she was like, what you need? She was just like, I'm coming, I'm doing this. I was like, what is this? Yeah, and we've been friends. Like we got to know ourselves a little bit better. I knew her family and all that. But I didn't really think she would actually go the extra mile like that. So I feel like from that experience, my mind actually changed when it came to work friends. Because it's like, I found an angel. Let me put it like that, you know.
Such a blessing.
So I just think like with work, like, yes, you're going there to get your money and you're getting out. Yeah. But just keeping the open heart of like, you could meet someone amazing there. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. I can add on that. Like I would use my late dad as an example because his friendships were so admirable. And I take advantage of my friendships now because of what he reflected, what him and my mother reflected. Because to be honest, there was a point in our lives where my father's connections are the ones who helped us. Yeah. I have relatives, mind you. I have relatives, blood relatives. But I must say, I identify more with my father's friends as people who supported me and my family during the hard time in life, more than even what our family could do. What our family, and that just emphasizes how important friendships are. Yeah. And also, based on what you just said about work friendship, my father had most of his friends from his work. And for me, I admired that because they had business to work with. They had how to cover themselves up at work. They had, you take up this role or apply for this higher position and this is what is going to come out of it. There was very good rapport with them and we saw it. And I personally grew up in a community where all our estate where we're coming from, all our parents were working in a specific area. So the relationship built and it became stronger. To date, we are still, most of our friends are basically from our parents' relationships. Now, here, where I live, my experiences with regards to relationships in work were very difficult. Yeah. Unfortunately or fortunately, I was not able to build up that good rapport with my colleagues. And for many reasons. And I did not take it, in the beginning, I took it personally. But as I grew up, I understood. And this made me even draw my boundaries. I will show up for you, but in this level of capacity, because I had colleagues who had businesses and, they would push you to support. I would do that. But for me, sitting down and having a chit chat based on my experience, because I had a very tough experience previously, and it was somehow like a betrayal. I took it as a betrayal where you have a rapport and they extended, they decided to use that against me at some point. I have nothing against it because the work environment I am in right now, which I thank God, there is that, that togetherness. There is that, I can say there's that element of building that relationship. I'm not too quick with that, but I'm building up towards it. But that point you raise is really important
Yeah.
because friends show up in different entities, different fields, and
Yeah.
we must have to, take
Yeah.
advantage and just be keen also so that we wouldn't be taken advantage of at the end.
And just like talking about different types of friendships,
Right.
because I think we hear this a lot and we don't take it as serious as it should. So I
Yeah.
was reading this book about human connections, and the lady outlined 5 types of human connections we all need to thrive in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you don't only need that one bestie ride or die or whatever they call it nowadays. You need someone who says hi to you in the morning, maybe the security guard or your barista who smiles to you. Like, I walked into work yesterday, which was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I forgot it was Valentine's Day, and immediately I walked in, the guy was like, the barista, happy Valentine's, and he was so happy. I couldn't even get mad because I don't have a Valentine, but I was like, happy Valentine's Day. And then, but it made my day. For some reason, it made my morning, and I see him every single morning when I come. He's like, oh, take this lemon, because he knows I like the lemon tea and everything.
Yeah.
For some reason, he just does something amazing to me. But that's a beautiful connection. And because he's not my ride or die best friend, doesn't mean I have to, don't talk to me, So I want us to talk about different types of friendships and, the role that they play in our lives.
Yeah. I think when you talk about that, it's important to understand seasons.
Yes.
Everything starts from you. Because I look at my experience and meeting Samantha, I was at a place in my life where I really yearned for growth. I really wanted to meet people I could connect with on a level where they really understood me and my personality. To have a friendship where there is less criticism and more growth. That is what I always was praying for. I mean, I had good friends and they helped me to grow, but there was a type of growth I was looking for. I mean, I missed some type of humor.
Oh my God.
And I used to see Samantha and there was an interest.
Yeah.
I said, this lady, she looks like someone I would really enjoy being around. But what I'm trying to say is it starts from where you are. So self-awareness is important. So then that is what you end up attracting. So at that season in my life, the person who came in that time was her. And she came through for me in so many ways. That's the time where I was going through, I was trying to be in a relationship.
I remember.
And I didn't know how to navigate
I was trying to be in it.
It was a lot.
It was too much because there was too many feelings. I mean, it felt like such a crisis. But Sam came in with her empathy and just her emotional availability. And she taught me to look at things on a different perspective. And it just took me through that season. Okay, the relationship didn't work.
Right.
But you gained a friend.
But I gained a friend. The relationship kicked off, but I don't think it was meant to even happen. But I'm saying different seasons in your life. So you may be in a season where God knows what you need right now is a friend from work.
Yes.
Because you need maybe connections.
Or maybe the work environment is hard and toxic.
Right. And so you need a friend who refreshes, who is refreshing to be around and who just makes the energy beautiful. Sometimes you may need, a friend may come into your life in a season where maybe you are getting into marriage and that friend will be the one to take you through that season. So I would think friendships change through the seasons. Different people come into our lives at different seasons. Some stay and some don't get to stay. I mean, it's okay. There may be disconnections, but it's important to understand where you are at in life. And when you talk to God about it and ask him to bring people who will match your season, he definitely will, like he did for me. And I think the same thing, Samantha may have the same story. So it's important to just know different friends come in different seasons. Some will stay, some may go.
And celebrate all of that. Because I think that's what's wrong with this generation right now. We're too quick to be like, oh, they did this, so you're like, bye. And then even if they're no longer in your life, you've created an enemy out of them, or you just made them a villain. But then not everyone is necessarily supposed to do life with us till the end.
I agree.
Some people, like you said, are just there for 3 months.
For 3 months.
2 months. 1 month.
Can I give you an illustration?
Yeah.
And I love that both of you brought this up. We've all flown in here. like all of, unless
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
decided to come with a boat or anything. But we all flew in, and when you look at the, and you're a traveler yourself, Courage, and both of you have really invested in traveling, and I have seen you guys out there. So in the airport setup, one day I was listening to a preacher at home, and he put that setup in my head, and it stuck. There are people in your life who are going to be there, like, for example, how a plane operates here. When a plane lands, they have arrived at destination. And there are friends who will come into your life and they have already arrived. They're encouraged life and that's their destination. They're going to be there when you're going to have children. They're going to be there when a crisis happens. Your ups and downs, they are going to be there. And there are friends who are like any other flight. They're transit, you know. They've arrived, yes, but they're going to move. So you can't hold on to those friendships, You can give out the most that you can, but you can't hold them down and pin them down in this airport. And there are those ones who are arriving, but yet to depart. Like, it's an activity of, it's a busy airport. It's a very busy airport. Your body, your soul, spirit is a busy airport. You can't hold on to somebody. The moment you realize that, this one is here meant to stay, this one is meant to go, it will be easy for you to make these transactions with your friendship. Of course, I always advise and emphasis, give your all to your friends or the person that you're connected to in whatever season. Show up the most that you can, because you don't know if they're on transit. You don't know if they have arrived. And this is to the point of, you don't know if you're ever going to see them again. So my practice throughout building these relationships and friendship is to give my all, if you allow me to. Because there are people who don't have that discipline of maintaining a relationship. The people don't know how conversations of relationship work. I was telling her the other day that, there's this person, and this person is really receiving a lot from me, but doesn't know how to give it back. And I said, because for me and her, it's very easy. And for example, if we go somewhere, it's my treat, like we fight over it. No, this is my dad. But I always know in the back of the day, like if we've gone somewhere and I'm paying, for example, she knows next year. It's the discipline of just understanding how to relate socially. And then you meet somebody, you're going to probably meet somebody who does not understand this narrative, that socially, you don't just empty me. You can't just be...
you can't just
taking everything. And this is not even financially, but emotionally, physically, you should be giving me back.
But you know, some people don't know that, actually. I realized that a lot of people, all of us, we've all been there. We did at one point in our lives not know how to do friendship. And in a way, we took whatever we saw the media tell us, or what, because even with our families and everything, I feel like we saw that, but we didn't take it to heart. It's the same way as your auntie or your uncle who has 50-year-old marriage. You're not taking advice from them, but you prefer to take it from someone on television. So sometimes I see friendships like this, because I saw healthy friendships with my family. My mom, her friends, her kids are still our friends. Like all of us, wherever they are, we're still doing life together. And then we come to this, and then everyone expects this new aesthetics of friendships, and it's mostly based on the shallow level stuff. And sometimes we're not really going into the deep things that we're supposed to be, working on out in friendships.
I had a friend who helped me. I remember before I met Samantha, a friend of mine told me one time, don't be a thief in people's lives. I think that thing, it really, really got to me, because I looked at my life and I was always thinking of what I can get from a friendship. I was not asking, what can I give in this friendship? And that changed everything. I said, that's the time where I started asking and praying that, whoever I meet, let me just bless their lives. And it helped me to even work on myself, to look at elements and habits that I had, or to basically learn, so that when I meet someone, I can be a blessing to them. So we may not know that, but we get to learn. I thank God I learned that lesson. You cannot be a thief in someone's life. You're there getting only business ideas from this person, going to this person for advice. for this and that, but you never even give them anything. You don't.
Some
give them
don't
your
even
time.
listen enough.
They don't. Yeah.
You don't listen. Basically, you don't listen. It's always about you.
Yeah.
I mean, from there, the friendship can never go anywhere. But when you get into a friendship with the attitude of, okay, what can I give here?
Give to this person.
What can I give? And what
I think that's a good mindset shift. You should look forward to being a blessing to other people and not just being on the receiving end. Especially because we do live in a selfish world where everyone is all about me and what I'm getting and what I'm doing, and that's why sometimes for me, I have a few red flags in friendships. For me personally, when I share something and then you are quick to change the topic most of the times, and then like trying to get me to do what you want to do. For me, those it doesn't balance, and I have healthy enough friendships to know that this is an imbalance.
This is an imbalance.
Yeah, so I do have some things that I look for now in friendships that maybe before I didn't look at, because I really want to have healthy people in my life. And I'm not saying everyone is going to be 100% there, but I think, like Martha was saying, at least have the awareness to want to grow or to want to move. I think for me, that's one of the most important things. Like you're making progress, you're trying to heal. Yeah. Because when you don't heal, you bleed on everyone else. And then we are the ones suffering. And then we're like, why?
You can't be out there looking for quality friends.
And then
you're not a quality friend. You want quality people around you, but you're not a quality person.
And it's all around. You're looking for friends who are financially stable.
The devil is a liar.
Who are creative.
But
you're not pushing yourself.
You're not even trying to
It's difficult.
Trying to be smart or trying to do anything.
You're just going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
But do you know there are such people?
There are people who are like that.
And they fall off from a friendship. You know, they fall off. They don't understand the banter. They don't understand the culture of friendship. It's very difficult to be that person who cannot socialize in that aspect, you know, because everyone is dealing with something. Everyone is working out their finances. Everyone is working out their lives and
no
challenges.
one is 100% there.
Yeah, but you also have to learn how to, you know, connect with your circle. Even don't make it transactional. That's what I would say. Let's not make it transactional, because I think here nowadays it's like that. It's so transactional because you will wait. If Courage did this, she must definitely pay back, or I have to. No, because there are those days where I've been around her and I've just wanted her to listen. And there are those days I think I've known that this is the cue that I am the one who's meant to listen. So Samantha, just shut up and just take it in. There are those days I will withhold my opinion and give it 3 days. I'm usually like that. And again, I emphasize because I always feel like my character or my personality is difficult for people to deal with because I absorb things in different levels. And I think she has picked it up so well. And that's why I appreciate my friendship, because you might pressurize me to answer you right now, and I might not have the answer, and I take 2-3 business days to
because you're actually processing it. In many ways, because Martha knows me well enough. I'm an introvert and also an extrovert. I'm an ambivert. So you cannot expect me to give you an answer now to whatever is going on. I'm gonna need time to process. 2 to 3 businesses is not enough for Courage. I need a long time. I need a lot of time because like it's not only me just processing it with myself, what I want. Most of my process comes like with God. Lord, what am I doing now? Where are you sending me? Why? Like it takes time for me to get to that place, and I'm gonna have the words. And I meet Martha, or I meet someone else, and I'm like, okay, this is what has been going on with me, and I have the words for it. But if you just ambush me in the moment, I don't have anything to say.
And that's why when in my relationships, both with men and women, if you might think you win when we're arguing. Because when you argue with me, I might not have the answer.
I'm looking at you.
Most of the time.
I'm looking at you.
But she's preparing a comeback in 3 business days.
I'm working on a comeback and it's usually offensive because after 2 days, the person who was fighting me or arguing or bring the points properly, because I know Chichi, for example, she knows how to put her points down very well, and I admire it. for me, she'll give me that information. I go sleep and I remember, this is what I was meant to say. But now I'll bring up that conversation after 2 days. But the receiver has healed probably. And like,
you still healing.
I'm so done. And like, Samantha, why you bring this up right now? Like it will bring another fight or something. But this is how I have operated. And it's not even socially, even with my family. Even with my mom is so chatty. She's so chatty. Like sometimes I would just black off because I'm mentioning her because also there's a friendship between me and her. And I would just, she's one person who will wake up, start talking, you think it's a radio that is on. She was asleep, but when she's awake, she starts talking. And I have learned to just block it. And I think she's also embracing the fact that this is the kind of person that she is.
Yeah.
She might need 2 days to reply, but she will.
2-3 business days.
It's just about us learning each other.
But I think it's also so beautiful that, learning each other. And you have someone who's patient enough to want to be like, okay, she's going to need 2 to 3 business days to talk about this, because not everyone actually has those people who do that, and not everyone is even willing or patient enough to go through that. Now, you guys are wearing green and red. Okay,
This is red.
red.
Yes, it is.
It's
not
red.
orange?
No.
It's not.
Oh, wow.
Orange red.
Should we?
Wow.
Okay, so I want you guys, I want you guys to tell us 2 red flags you have in the friendships and 2 green flags you have in the friendships. Yes. Because I just looked at your clothes and I'm like, yes, I love it. Okay, so 2 red flags and 2 green flags.
Samantha,
You
start.
go first.
Yes, Mother goes first.
She wants to take my point.
Red flags. When I'm not being listened to. So when you meet a friend, you're trying to get to know someone, you're trying to make friends with someone, and you realize that they're not giving you space, or you notice that they are not really showing interest in listening to you. That's the first thing. When I'm not being heard or seen.
Yeah.
So there are times when I'm just trying to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
There are times when you would talk to someone, you're trying to tell them what is going on with you, and immediately they shift to whatever is going on with them. It's like they brush off whatever you're saying. And in a friendship, you feel invisible. You feel like you're not being seen. You're not being listened to.
Can I just say something before you? Can we stop doing that?
Please.
Please. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Listen to your friends. Don't
To
make
just
it about you.
listen.
It's not always about you.
And show- yes.
It's
And you don't also
yeah.
need to find solutions to whatever they're going through. You just need to listen.
Yeah, you just need to
Yeah.
listen. So that for me is a red flag. Someone who will always want it to be about them. For me, it says thief, thief, thief. They're just coming to take. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
The second thing, when I notice elements of, so how will I put this? Elements of pride in the sense that this person doesn't look like they even want to be taught. They came here like they're a superhero.
They know everything.
They know everything. They're just, they know everything. They're not looking to even learn anything, or it shows that this person can never take accountability. When you listen to someone talking and it's always this person did this to me and they did that to me and they did that to me and they did that to me, they come in with a victim mentality. For me, that's a red flag, because I look at when we become friends,
Yeah.
if anything ever happens between us, I will be the monster.
I am next. The next villain in
I
your
am
life.
the next villain in the story. Yeah, so every time when I look at that, and you notice those things are all in the capsule. I looked for, couldn't find in the capsule of emotional immaturity. Yes, so that for me is a red flag. So the point number 2 is emotional immaturity.
Okay.
Wow.
I hope green flag.
No, let me do red also. Oh, you're doing
red.
Oh, give us some green flags. Give us some 2 green flags.
green flags.
Yes,
Yeah?
give us green flags then.
Oh yeah, a green flag for me is a friend who, somebody who's very understanding, like in just as plain as that. And it just goes down to, don't make everything about yourself. Understanding you, and especially understanding to the fact that you reach out to me when, when everything is, not only when everything is good, but also when things are bad.
Yeah.
Because we have those red flags of friends who just reach out to you when things are bad on their end, and they're reaching out to suck your energy, suck you, and ask you for more. But they're not asking, are you okay? But a green flag is when you just check on me and you check on your person.
Normally, we don't have to be.
It's all around harmony, like it's under the umbrella of being understanding. And also another green flag in friendship is patience. I would say patience again, because it's all round, it's all seasons, because you can easily lose your patience with your friends and the relationships around you. So building up into understanding and patience, it's like an iceberg. Like the deeper you go, it's bigger. You're patient with me in the hard times, in the good times, and when I'm financially okay, when I'm not, when I'm not understanding my seasons, when I have a difficult time, when I'm making mistakes or things that are not appealing to you. Are you patient enough to take me in and just support me as a friend? Because out there, not everyone has the patience to do that. So those are two green flags that I hold on to.
So I don't know if I have this question good in my head, but it came up somewhere. What do you think about, because I think I heard someone say this in a sermon yesterday, and she wrote a book called How to Love Hard People. I don't know if I'm also killing that, but like how to love people that are hard to love, or people that are hard. Something like that. So she was saying, because she talked about like persevering through in seasons, like you talked about patience and all those things. And then she also mentioned, because they brought up some cases where women were abused, either emotionally or physically, or even verbally. And then so she was like, you can forgive, because our job is to forgive. God gives us that mandate to forgive. But she was like, there are some situations where you really see that if I stay here, it's really not going to be healthy for me. And so she was like, this is not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to tell you to, end up dead one day or put yourself through some emotional turmoil. But I'm just saying that make sure that you're in a good place in your heart, like with loving them and forgiving them, and you can love people from afar. So I want to get your own perspectives, or what do you think about that fact? Because I think right now, many people don't know that sometimes it's okay to quit. It's okay to quit if it's not working. You can actually quit. And it's something that I really love for people to understand a little bit more, because I just think we're putting ourselves in a lot of situations where it's really not working out. You're feeling the friction, but you're trying to force things. This is something that I've had to embrace in my life, where I'm like, do I really need to be, experiencing this much heartache? And then you pull away from something and your life gets better. So I'm like, okay, this is definitely something that wasn't working for me. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that, and maybe just encourage someone who is going through a really hard time, but they're boxing themselves up. Like, it's okay to leave it.
It's okay. It's okay to leave. It's totally okay to end a friendship if it's not working for you. If you are at a point in your life where you feel like your energy is, where you feel drained. See, the thing for me is, if I'm around people and the moment I leave, I feel I'm drained, that's the last time I will be around those people or that person. Because in this situation, we're not feeling into each other, So for that person who is struggling to quit a friendship, it's totally fine. You don't even need any kind of clarity. You can take a break and reflect on whatever is happening. Maybe make time to talk to that person again, or you can just leave.
And sometimes I think even just a little break actually helps that friendship a little bit better.
Break helps.
Because I think that's something we don't really open our arms up to. Like, I had a friendship, not gonna mention the person's name because they're probably watching this, but I had a friendship, like we took a break for like a month, and then when we came back, it's like we have a better intimacy now, and our friendship is so much more better. But we took a break because like we mutually took the break. Like, we had a conversation and we both needed time. And then we came back, like we talked again and tried to talk about the things that we could work on from each other's side. Because these things are like relationships, So, and now we are like in a better place, healthier friendship. and it's so much more healthier now than it was before. So sometimes a break does help out.
A break helps.
Yeah.
And familiarization breeds contempt. So
Yes.
it's very important when you become so familiar with each other, just learn that there's both effort that is coming from both ends. Let's respect that. And it's important to be able to not get so used to my friend. The breaks usually really help.
Yeah.
They really help you become a better
Give each
person.
other space. Give each other space
Yeah.
as much space. You said, on the flip side, when I said it's okay to leave, on the flip side, there is something called grace.
Yes, pursuing
Giving-
your friendships. That was the next one after this.
So
Yeah.
should I continue?
No, definitely. Please go ahead.
Grace, learning to give people grace.
Yes.
Understanding that maybe they don't know any better.
Yeah.
They don't know what you know.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's good to do that. And also, when you give grace, it doesn't mean that you stay in that difficult situation in the hope that this person may change or something. No, giving grace in understanding, okay, they are not where I need them to be. And that's okay. We don't have to continue being friends. So, doing whatever it is that you're doing in terms of living the friendship, but living with grace. You don't end up blaming the person. You live with understanding and give the person space to grow.
Yeah.
They may not meet the expectations you have of who you want them to be.
Yeah.
And it's okay to leave them where they are and give them time to grow into that person.
And you never know.
Yeah.
This friendship might resurface in a few years, and you guys are in a better
yes,
place.
So don't burn the bridges.
And I
Don't
think
burn the bridges.
no burning
Yeah,
bridges.
don't do
Yeah.
that.
but some you can burn.
Some you can. You have to analyze and weigh.
Bye burning.
Yeah, just burn it, but you have to weigh. There are those ones you look at and you realize.
Or there are those friendships where I think the most beautiful thing that can happen to someone is you have those really good quality friendships, because then when you have those ones that are not really what it's supposed to be, you're going to know better. Because I feel like some of the experiences that I've had, because I have some really good healthy friendships, I do know that, okay, this is something that's not really working out. And also maybe that other one that doesn't feel like what I think healthy is could be teaching me something too, because that's also another thing. Sometimes the uncomfortable friend is bringing out some things in you that
you need to
work on.
Fact.
Yeah, you need to
That's
work on,
true.
because that's something that I realized, like, we all like something when it's shimmering and shining, or you want to approach it. But then it takes a lot of work to keep it shimmering and shining.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So lastly, lastly but not lastly, I want us to talk a little bit about age when it comes to friendships.
Okay.
This is something that I read in a book. Blame that book.
Yeah.
But I think it came up because I don't know if it's a thing. So I want to hear your point of view on this. Like, I do know that it's very important to have younger friends and also to have older friends, because there's that beautiful balance that is there. But do you think that there's a different way you should be relating to the older ones and related to the younger ones? Because sometimes the younger ones can be more mature than the older ones. So I don't know. I'm just like,
I agree.
Yeah, age and friendships.
Wow, that's a lovely question. Because if she can tell you, my friends, the age gap is way like this. I have friends who have children, married, who are single and very well, in business.
Yeah.
With their careers, friends who are doing a lot in the government in Kenya, friends who are doing a lot even here. They're way older than me. And I think it's all about maturity. That's just plain. At the same time, I have that friendship. I even have friends. Now, let me tell you, just a small anecdote, very small one. I used to really admire our neighbor. And I don't think even my family noticed. But there was an older neighbor we had. He was a very polished guy. He used to stay like a block down. And every time I used to go and say hi, he'd give me candy. So he had a bowl of candy. And I used to really admire him. And he would take time and open the door. You're here to say hi, and give you candy. And give me candy. And it's funny, my brain just brought that file up. But to say this, that I don't think there is any... I wouldn't say biasness when it comes to relating with any age. There's a lot that I've learned from younger people, especially if you have the courage to approach me and talk to me and say, I'm interested in having a conversation and let's see how this banter can go. there's a lot I'm learning from my younger friends that I'm not learning from my age mate friends. There is a lot that I'm also learning from my older friends, specific ones. So for me, it's all round. There's a lot I learned from, I was a teacher, I'm still a teacher. 5-year-olds were teaching me quite a lot.
They teach us so much.
Teach me so much that I learn about friendship and relationship.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to put myself in a cocoon or a box of saying that I only mingle with a specific friend, or I'll socialize with a specific sect of friends, because it's just limiting, to be honest. It's very limiting for a person.
For me, I think friendships, I've never considered age as something, but when it comes up, I look at my duty in this friendship. I think as now in the friendship the three of us have, as sisters, I am the oldest here.
And then she said it like,
and the shortest. Let me just put it out there.
Really? I'm taller than you, I'm not sure.
Let's not argue
Let's
about height.
not talk about height. It's not an issue right now. We're talking about age. So I'm the oldest here. I normally look at where I am now. My duty is to be a blessing and more like a guide and a light to those that are behind me, my little sisters like you, to be there to catch you when you fall. Or when you go through something, I'll be the person to tell you, I have been there.
Calm down.
Good.
It gets better.
It gets better.
From my friends who are older, because I have older friends, they have taught me to give grace to myself.
Right.
You know, so I look at me now and the different friends I have. It's very important to have friends in different age groups. Have friends who are older than you so you can learn from them.
Yes.
Have friends who are younger than you so you can teach them. So it's two ways. You give the ones who are younger, you be there for them as an elder. You know, it's important to also look at yourself in that light, and you also get from the elders. So that is the kind of experience I'm having in my friendships right now. I have younger friends who really inspire me and teach me a lot, and I have younger friends who bring out the best in me, like you, who give me a chance to just be there and be a sister and be there to just encourage you as you enter adulthood. And
Adulthood.
like
I'm not done.
Yeah.
There's more to go.
The way I guide Samantha.
Wow.
And then I have
Guide
older
Samantha.
friends.
Right.
Older friends who they give me so much hope. You know. And they teach me a lot. So
Beautiful.
I love that so much.
Yeah. And I think when you said something about age, I don't know, were you asking also about how friendships change in age, or did I just form that question?
No. Actually, you answered it. Whatever it was, you did answer it. Right. And also, I don't know. Okay, so I had this experience, I think a few weeks ago or something like that, where I met this older lady. She's like in her late 40s, almost 50. My mom is 50, by the way.
Oh.
And so naturally, I meet that kind of person. My brain switches to auntie or
Mom.
older sister and something like that. So I changed the way I was talking to her and just give her a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of that conversation, as we started talking about some other things, I don't know what exactly I said, because we were talking about, you know, this wellness stuff now. I think when you just say something a little bit, someone else can relate and then we can all relate.
Right.
So we started having that conversation. And by the end of that conversation, I knew everything about her life, everything to the T. And then I sat there and then I was like, but why is she telling me all of this? And to be honest, let's not say, oh no, you're approachable and, you know, someone just wants to tell you stuff. I actually don't see it like that anymore. I used to see it like that before, but now I just think, which is a very real thing, that person doesn't have boundaries because you just met someone. You just met them first day and then you're telling them everything.
Giving them
And then
your business.
when we progressed a little bit, this is like the third kind of experience that I'm having. And one of my very good friends told me, she was like, you either have to do two things, but she said it jokingly. She was like, you either have to stop behaving like you're mature or you just run away from these people. Because the next minute, she's like, oh, sis, hi sis, sis, this was going on. Sis, and I'm like, sis, I'm your
like your daughter.
There's no sis in here. And then sis comes with like a whole paragraph and a whole this. I'm like, I'm not your sis, number one. I'm your junior sister.
But you can actually be her sis. See, age is just
no, it's
just
the sis coming with the amount of things you're that follows the sis.
Right.
It's okay to
yeah.
call me sis, but I was just like, I'm way younger than you. I don't have the bandwidth to carry all of
carry
these
all
things,
of these things
and
you're
I
saying.
just
Oh,
maybe
wow,
met
yeah.
you. So that's
Okay.
what I'm trying to say, because like the girl who was telling me to either change how I'm behaving, she's also going through something like that.
Right.
So it's not a universal problem, but so many people are going through it. So it got me thinking, like, I think there should be, especially when it's like that kind of, because that age range is quite big. Like, she's almost my mother's age. So and then I tell you I'm 27, and then you're almost 50. So I think there should be a way you would maybe ease me into your life. And
Yeah.
this could be, it could be like for anyone. There should be a way you ease people into your life
Oh, yeah,
before
yeah.
you
There's a lot of
share like
generations
heavy,
in
because
between.
because that's how expectations start coming up.
Yep,
And then
yep,
the
yep.
next minute you're expecting someone to show up in a certain kind of way, and they cannot.
I agree.
cannot.
I agree
Yeah.
100%. And I've seen that even when we are, I come from a very big family, and I think that's how I relate with her also, because she was coming from a big family. The thing is, we are, in my family, a different generation. So I came to a conclusion, because when we're going back and forth in a gentle way, I must say, I just came to understand, wow, my sister or brother is coming from a different generation
Yeah.
than I am. So I cannot force
You
them to
don't see
understand
things
the
the
things
same
that I'm going through as a person is not what they're actually going through. It's different.
Yeah.
How they receive information, how they even take part in certain things, very different. So, and I also try and tell them, don't push me to try and understand you as a person. First of all, you come from a very different generation, how I was raised and how you were raised, even by the same parents, very different.
Yeah.
So the arguments would stem from there, the misunderstanding. But now when I came to understand that relationship needs to be handled by understanding the generations we are in, made it easy for me. It made it really easy. I don't take things personally. I just appreciate whatever they're giving. And even if it's a misunderstanding, I'm like, oh, well, you're from that generation, so I don't expect you to understand anything.
The generation thing is good, I think.
It's important.
My mom always has something she usually says. She's like, you are all different.
Very.
She was like, I know I gave birth to, but you are all different.
Yes.
I'm the only Gen Z amongst my sisters.
Right.
My sisters are not on social media. They don't use it, but they are on you. One is on YouTube very consistently because she's watching the podcast. And then my mom is on Instagram because she's watching me on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, but they're only there just to keep tabs on everything. But they're not, I cannot expect them to understand every single thing. And they also don't expect that of me. So,
different conversation. How my mom talks to me personally is very different from how she talks to, because I demand empathy. I demand it. I demand the love. Oh, you didn't say I love you, or you didn't call me Chogo. Chogo means last born in. I forced it out of her because she's not culturally raised to be that mother. But I try and make sure, because you're raising me in this generation, you give birth to me in that generation, you have to treat me the way differently somehow, and it helps, and it goes all around also. That's in our relationships.
Okay, to round up this episode, I want you guys to share with us. Yes, Martha?
No, just very briefly.
Yes, please.
When we were talking about, it's about understanding people.
Yeah.
When things don't go the way you expected, you can't expect people to see things or approach life the way you approach it.
Definitely.
We're different. So they spoke that way. I need to understand why they spoke that way. Or this is where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And then you go back to just grace. It
Yeah.
takes you all the way back to grace. You give
That's
grace.
true.
Instead of going through an exchange and disappointments, you understand we're not coming from the same place. We have
I
very
think
different
understanding that does
perspectives.
shift your perspective, even when it comes to cultural differences. I think you and I, we've had this conversation countless number of times, how like we're African, but I've seen so many things other people do from other races that I don't relate to it, and I don't expect them to understand where I'm coming from with life too. So it's helped me to just like take off a lot of expectations from a lot of people, because we have other things we're trying to deal with, especially as women of color. And also we have responsibilities that are really like, we have actual people that we're responsible for. So sometimes someone complaining about Dubai Mall traffic and, you know,
Yeah, but now for them, that's a valid problem.
That's a valid. So
for you, you're thinking
Extend grace.
exactly.
anyway.
I'm like, well, so,
Wow.
but then it doesn't necessarily mean that thing is not important to them.
Yes,
it's
it
important to
is.
them.
It is.
And my own thing is important to me.
those are
But
the types of problems they have.
yes. Dubai more traffic.
Yeah,
Imagine.
and you may be having other. I remember the funny story.
Chronic problems. Here you
I
are.
remember the very funny story. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I heard someone say something the other day, and she was like, "There's so many people we need to apologize to in our lifetime." You know, like even having that expectation, or even thinking that their problem is Dubai Mall. Like I also need to apologize to them in my mind. You know,
They were
there's so many
being
people we need
stressed
to apologize to. But yeah, so I want you guys to we've talked about every single thing.
Right.
I think.
So good.
And just tell us a little bit why, because I think if we look at this topic properly, there are a lot of, I feel like, especially with the mainstream media right now, there are a lot of things that can be highlighted that are negative about friendships, or the horror stories that can come out of it. But also there are beautiful parts of friendship, beautiful parts. And we have so many stories of people having their friends actually change their entire life because they met one person.
Yep.
And also just knowing that your community must not always be 20 people. Like it mustn't be that friendship group that you see with 50 people, you know?
Yeah.
Quantity is better. So just tell us what friendship means to you guys, like separately, and also the importance of community and the importance of friendship.
It's a pack. Should I go first?
Over to you, Samantha.
Over to
Oh, Martha, you I was looking at you. I'm
Over
like,
to
you
Samantha.
next, Martha.
Well, that is a whole packet. Beautiful way to end. Well, what does friendship mean to me? I told you I've grown up watching my parents be friends, hosting friends, and also be very, very good friends to their friends. So it has trickled down to me, although I took time to open up to friendships. And I think personally, the friendship with Chichi is the one that caught me in a mature age, where now I'm able to create boundaries and also be able to choose what's good for me and not. And also, I must say this, that friendship is quite important, because when I look at the track record, my difficult times in my life, the ones where it hits you and you feel like, courage, I'm done. My friend was always there.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give an instance. There was like 2 years ago, I left the office and I got difficult news about my situation. And I walking towards Business Bay going, and I was crossing that big signal. And then I was going to cry myself to, I don't know, to whatever.
Yeah.
But then I saw Chichi. And somehow at that time, she was doing her nails around that area. But to be honest, I felt like God had purposed for me to, because I was in a wreck. Walked to the park, cried myself out. And she just let me cry. I bowled, I rolled, and it was a difficult spiral of difficult time during there, and went therapy and everything. And I thank God. Another period where I had friend was when I got the news that on my way to work again, my brother had died. I called one of my friends. One of them had already left. Eve had left for work. Then it was Doreen who I called. She was like, "What? I'm coming." Left everything and she came.
I love that.
And let me tell you, friendship it's beyond family. You just need your friends sometimes. Like here, what time do we have to call family?
Yeah.
What time do we have to check on our family? So I can emphasize, or hopefully I'm not digressing from your question, but friendship is very important. We need our friends. Be very specific to not make it transactional. Be a very healthy friend. Don't be a toxic friend. Don't create patterns. We're already dealing with so many patterns. It would be worse for us to pick up from a friendship and have to heal that trauma again because of a friend. It's very disrespectful to human beings. You should not do that. So try and be the best version of a friend. Show up the best version of yourself. You never know where you're going to need them. You're going to need your friends. And here especially, you're not an island. You cannot do without friends. You cannot do without friends. And I pray that this what I've said has answered.
It actually has.
Has
You
it?
said something my mother always says, man is not an island.
Never.
She's going to be so proud I remember that. But anyways, yes, mother.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the friendships I have. And friendship for me, friendship means a safe place. Because I think about all the madness that's around me, and my friends are always my soft landing. It's a blessing I don't take for granted. I sent her a message last night because I had a moment of reflection. And then I said, what, like, you think about your friendships. And like I said, in my head, I saw this very straight and clear road. That meant direction because I think in pictures. And I looked at how my life has had direction. And it's because of the friends I've had. And I think about moments where I was going through very confusing situations. And the only person who spoke sense was Samantha. I think about all the people I went to share whatever I was going through with. And the only person I shared who spoke something that made sense and gave me the insight I needed happened to be Samantha. So for me, friendships is my home, that place I go to where I get re-energized. I have friends who we sit together and we laugh and you go home feeling 10 times better than that's what friendship means to me. It's important to also be that person in someone else's life.
I love it so much.
Please, can I say one
Yes,
thing?
please.
I hope I didn't cut you off. But friends are so important because even where I am in my life, career-wise, like even my previous ones, it was out of a friend or somebody who knew mouth that they said, oh, I know somebody who can do this job perfectly. Let's call her. And get friends also who can support you. I know people don't like having this finances in relationships all around. They don't bring up, even when you're dating, that it's a very difficult topic to bring up finances. But I have friends who I can call and I say, I need this amount of money. And they will say, which account? Like easily. Which account? Not, when are you going to pay me back? Or
but
what
they're following you up.
Are you scamming me? No. Which account, Samantha? I have had friends who I have gotten some financial assistance from, and I've diligently not stolen even a dime. I gave them on the specific date. It brought us to tears, me and her, because it was a difficult situation. You know, our money, our heart is where our treasures are, the Bible says. But you build your trust when you're able to trust your friends with the treasures that you also have. And it's not only financially, but the nitty-gritties, the secrets, the treats, all that builds up to a good friendship. So, I love what you guys said. I was just sitting here and as you were talking, I was also just thinking about my friendships and I'm grateful. You know, I think for me, one thing that I love about like the friendships that I am, you know, paying attention to and they're paying attention to me, because for me personally, I think my life looks kind of different and it is kind of different because I only have a certain level of attention span to give to so many people. Right.
So I'm grateful that the ones that I am actually paying attention to, they're paying attention to me. So me being heard, seen, and known.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's very important.
That's like, so it's good for you to go around in life knowing that you have 4 or 5 people or 3 people that fully know you and they love you. Like, that's so beautiful because that's your community. Those are the people that even if someone calls, oh, they killed someone, no, never, that could never
do that. Or if you killed the person, they will go like, and tell you, okay, I know
let's see
what do we do?
What next? You have to
so true. People who will love you at your best, and I mean, we've had moments when I've been so messy, but I always knew Samantha will be there with open arms.
You need those ones.
You have to.
You need those ones. I have this friend, every time when she talks to me and she's done, even if it wasn't no concern, nothing, I always tear up at the end of the day because she always has to remind me that I know you and you. she always has to remind you of the heart that she saw the first day she
Yes,
met you.
yes.
She always has to remind you of the tenderness, the love, and everything. And in a way, I feel like those friendships really help me show up in the way that I do. Like I feel like this bubbly is not coming just from me, because I have people affirming that and speaking into
And
that,
good.
and also
And
calling me
valid.
out.
Yes.
Good.
There's sometimes that this was dumb. Don't do that again.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
why did you do, like, even
Accountability
accountability
is
and all
very
those things. So
important.
it's beautiful. I think
good.
friendships are
And
beautiful.
you only get, see, if you're experiencing that type of love from people, it means that you're giving yourself that love. You will never learn
Yes, yes,
how
yes,
to
yes.
fully accept people if you never learn how to fully accept yourself. You can only give what you give yourself.
That's
So
true.
if maybe you're in a friendship and it's a struggle, try giving yourself that grace. If you're struggling to be patient with people, try being patient with yourself.
And it comes out.
You will
Yeah.
radiate it naturally.
Your aura will just come
So
out.
be the friend that you want to yourself. Maybe, because I'm thinking of people who have no, I mean, there are people who have no friends.
Yeah.
Or people who really want community, but it all starts in here.
Start by being a friend to yourself. I
it.
think that's something that you can start from. Like, even when they talk about marriage and all this and that, date yourself or whatever. But then start by being a good friend to yourself, and then see how you can be that to someone else too. Because if you don't even know yourself, how do you show up in those friendships? And I'm not saying you should fully know yourself. It's a process, but at least you're doing something about it.
And the Bible is a good description of beautiful friendships.
Yeah.
Jonathan, beautiful, even Christ himself.
Had beautiful
His
friendships.
disciples,
Yeah.
they had a beautiful rapport, beautiful friendship. So it's ministry on its own.
It is.
Friendship
Oh
is
my
ministry,
goodness.
but with
it's
boundaries.
ministry. Yeah. We'll talk about boundaries in another episode.
One entire
Yes,
day.
but with boundaries.
With boundaries. Boundaries are also important in community and all
Yes.
those things.
All
yes,
round.
yes. But thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you,
coming. And thank you for
Courage.
sharing.
Thank you for having us.
So
Thank
lovely.
you.
Yeah, I'm
lovely.
I'm really hoping that this episode helps an expat out there who's trying to navigate whatever this is. And if you have any questions or concerns, the comments are down below.
Go right ahead.
Go right ahead. But
comments and concerns.
yes, I will have all the links in the description where you can find Martha, where you can find Samantha if you want to connect with them on socials.
Right.
They might have private accounts, but this is where we are right now.
Well.
So, so guys, I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Courage. Thank you.
Thank you so
lovely.
much.